Hi friends! So just as the last year where we did the Victorian working class white mage costume, for this year's fall for costume I wanted to do a actual something that's a little bit more challenging for me. Now I have been in conventions and in the cosplay community since my early teens. I am now 31 for the record. But I've never really cosplayed a canon character. Now, part of that is the fact that I've been terrified of being judged. Like, full stop, that was a huge reason why. But I've been working lately to challenge some of my own fears and anxieties about judgment and being misconstrued. And I think a really good way to go about that would be to have my history bound themed around Imogen Temult. Now, Imogen's character arc for me really resonates. I like that her lightning bolts never go away, even as she self-actualizes, because that's a huge thing that, at least the media I grew up with, would have done, is that now that she's self-actualized and she doesn't need this law anymore, it can go away. But with Imogen, it continues to expand past her body. Now, let me go into a little bit more about why Imogen specifically. Imogen is someone who very early on in her adult life developed this thing that she could not control and could not stop, could not hide that she had, as it spread over her body and became more and more apparent, as did the crippling effects that were affiliated with it. As Imogen began to have visions and hear voices and have lightning bolts creeping up her hands and body, she lost her job, she lost her home, she lost her place in the society she'd always known. And eventually she found Laudna, and she found Hell's Bells, and she found family. I actually really like how the found family arc was handled through Imogen and through that character as a general whole. I feel that having watched her father grow up on the ranch and work on the ranch, and then spending the portion of her adult life that she did on the ranch, would have impacted her sartorial sensibilities in a way. I feel that there would be a little bit more pragmatism, and she'd want fabrics and clothes that would wear well and that could withstand a bit of dirt. Because this woman was working with horses. They're not the cleanest animals on the planet, surprisingly enough. I want to lean into that a little bit. Because one of the things that I really like about Imogen is her pragmatism and her very straightforward and honest nature. I like the idea that she's able to have fun, but she's a very serious person. And that it takes other people to bring out the more whimsical and fun side of her. Which is what makes her such a good counterpoint to Laudna, who's had this very intense, very traumatic life, but still manages to find that light inside of her, regardless of who's with her at the time. But for today, let's go into what I'm planning going forward for this outfit and what exactly I have in mind. The vibe we're going for this time around is more of the American frontier around the 1800s. I know in my previous video I said 1850s, I misspoke, I apologize. And we're going to essentially use that motif to marry Imogen's baseline design with her level 10 design, because I want to encapsulate the entirety of Imogen's arc, not just any one particular chapter of it. Also, if I get to it, this is going to be a lot like the Palatote. This is my stretch goal. I want to see about making a lavender cloak with a yellow lining for the hood, so that we can bring in some of Imogen's hair, because, well, unfortunately, day job does not allow me to have lavender hair. And I do not do enough in my personal life to accommodate a wig, or to accommodate the expense of a good wig. For this, what we're looking at is, I want somewhere between these two. I think these two might actually, looking at it, possibly be the same cape. But I want something along this sort of motif to have about Imogen's shoulders for the neck scarf that I'm going to be making regardless. I know this isn't historically accurate, I just mostly want this for the vibes. I'm going to be doing the shirtwaist pattern that you saw in the thing. I will get back to it. And then do a different round of secret pants, because last year when I did them, I did a very simple wide leg set and then pull one across and do it this way. I want to do a proper one this year for split pants. I also have one or two that if I could have found a Laudna in time, or even found someone who'd be willing to history bound Laudna with me, I would love to get photos like these done. I think that would be fun. But what I'm looking more is for women's frontier work outfits, because again, we're leading into her being a rancher. So stuff like this really does fit the bill for what I want, with a more fantastical edge, because it is Critical Role after all. I think this would be fantastic. And then you have little lightning bolts going up the side because she cannot hide her marks, having it along the lapel. In fact, let me show you. So rough sketch, of course. As with last year, I did do a concept sketch. And last year's was a lot more ambitious than I'm going with this year. I am just doing a triangle scarf, some gloves, a blouse, a waistcoat, and some split leg trousers. Which sounds like a lot now that I've said it out loud, but the cloak is more of a stretch goal. That is my one stretch goal. If I can make a pouch this year, we'll account for that as part of the stretch goal. But yeah, what I want to do, and this is going to be the new technique that I'm learning this year, is I want to embroider the lapel and have the lightning bolts go up towards the neck and up towards the chest as they do in the level 10 design. And then maybe up the buttons hole there, but you can see peeking up out of the waistcoat. And then also have it referenced on the gloves as well. Now I'm doing a pull away split skirt, so have the buttons down the front and then have a drop fly for the buttons. And then have a flyaway panel that goes in the middle. And have that be for when she's going into town, you know, this is still the 1800s, you gotta look like you're wearing a skirt at least part of the time, but you're working at a ranch, so let's be honest, you're not wearing them all the time. This is kind of how I wanted the cloak to work, but I didn't manage to get it exact. I want it very simple to fall about the shoulders as it does in the level 10 design. But I want it to be easy breezy and essentially functional, while still looking as cute as the original one does. So now what I am doing is I'm measuring about where I want it to end up when it's going across the fullest point in my shoulders, as well as how far down I want it to go on my neck. Then we hold wherever we need to hold it while we're trying to navigate single-handed. I am a one-person party here. But essentially that is what is going on, is I am getting the approximate measurements so that I can see how far down it'll need to go. That being done, let's head over to the table so that we can prep it to cut our pattern for our neckerchief. Here is I am measuring out the length and width of the neckerchief. Because I've not really worked with this pattern and I want to spend as little on this budget as I can,
I want to get this right. I don't have the money for a mock-up. I am cutting this out on my pattern paper. That done, I'm going to place you, my friends, in this lovely, slightly voyeuristic shot while I mark out and cut my fabric pieces. Now, if you're my neighbors watching this, I promise I wasn't filming you. I am just living without a tripod. Hello, friends. This is editor Caitlin coming to you to explain that my outro got corrupted. I only realized this upon editing, and I am coming in to tell you this video will be with the next video or the one that follows. So I'm going to next be patterning all of the pieces out for you and walk you through what the final phase of my process will be looking like before we get to actual proper fabric cutting. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more, or if you would like to have suggestions for what you'd like to see in the future, please feel free to follow and comment and let me know what you'd like. I'll see you later. Bye.